Run through of the guys, let you know who's racing in the state title tonight. We were going to get a word with each of the riders. I think they're more interested in getting on with the racing. We'll just go through a quick introduction. Starting from the starting line is Darryl Branford, ex-Whyalla rider, and he'll be hoping to do well tonight. Next to him, Shane Bowes, one of the new breeder riders. Next in line, very popular rider down here who'd be looking to make it 2 in a row, and after watching his just missing out on the Australian title, but was the highest placed Australian in the world finals, Craig Hodgson. Kieran Boyle, our next rider, making the grade tonight. He'll be looking for big things. Ray Robertson, bit of an old time around the traps, has seen a few bike rides in his time, racing at number 5. Number 6, a rider that hasn't been out for a while, has made a pretty good return to racing in the short couple of rides that he has had, and that's Damon Richardson. Next to him, another fairly seasoned campaigner in Nigel Greenhalgh, quite famous for the sponsorship of the Elizabeth Vale Deli. It's been going on for quite some time. Young Bill Lillman, next to him, had a season up the top end. He'll be back with all stops out tonight, trying to take out the title, or at least come second to have a chance to continue on the merry way to the Australian titles. Next to him, racing in number 9, is Shane Parker, and anybody that missed Shane's ride last week down here in the Jack Petman Invitation missed a top night of racing. Shane, 5 rides and 5 wins, tremendous effort, and he'll be a real rider to watch tonight. Next to him, Scotty Norman. Scott's had a little bit of an up and down season since he's been back. I feel quite sure that tonight's definitely going to be an up one for Scott. Ashley Norton, next to him, of course, we've all seen Ashley in action on the North Arm track many, many times. Seems to bring out the best of him on a big night like we have tonight. Mark Fiora, of course, has won the number 1 for South Australia several times. I'm not too sure just how many times it is, but Mark was getting pretty close to catching John Bolger's record for state titles won. No doubt he'll be looking to try and get that little bit closer tonight. Well, on my sheet we had Neil Perry next to him. If that's Neil Perry, he's changed quite a bit. We've got Ross Noble there wearing number 13. Ross Noble, of course, is another rider that's been with North Arm, I think, ever since it first opened. Has been down here on the North Arm track. Next to him would have to be Neil Perry. It's getting a bit hard to see down that far. Neil Perry, of course, a rider that's put in a lot of time at Murray Bridge. We haven't seen a lot of him down here. I think he's been out for a while, I believe. But it's good to see Neil back, and he's certainly showing some great form. Next rider down, fairly lucky to get in tonight. I think he'd admit that himself. Lee Schooling, one of the new riders coming up from the junior ranks. And Lee taking that spill earlier, coming through, getting a second chance at it, winning his heat. And that's put him in tonight into the program, replacing an injured Darren Fleming. Darren Fleming having some bad luck at Mildura, I believe. Next to him is Paul Cooper. I think the last big meeting we had prior to the Jack Petman one, Paul Cooper really pulled the stops out, and Paul featured very heavily in the trophy situation at the last year's presentation night. I think he walked away with an armful of trophies. Another new rider next to him coming in as first reserve is Dave Marcus. Dave Marcus previously had a lot of experience on dirt bikes. He's also teamed up with Ivan Clothier on sidecars, but tonight he'll be in his first reserve, and we're looking for all sorts of things to happen to some of the riders that are actually programmed. Next to him, Sean Sampson. Sean taking quite a few points away from some of the riders recently. He's putting in some good rides, and he'll be alongside Dave Marcus as a reserve. Okay, they're the riders that we have tonight taking part in this, the 1988-89 South Australian Solo Championships. Last Friday night we witnessed some great racing in the Jack Petman Solo Invitation. Shane Parker took out the event with 5 rides, 5 wins. Congratulations to Shane. Ready to go in event 1 of tonight's Solo Championship. We'd like to thank Yokohama Motorcycle Tyres for the sponsorship of tonight's meeting. Also, each of the individual races are sponsored. And the first heat, event 1, sponsored by Seaton Mowers. If you see Shane or Len Bowes for your next new mower or repairs to your old one, and Seaton Mowers is situated on Port Road at Alberton. From 2, Craig Hodgson in white from 3, and our first qualifier, Kieran Boyle, starting yellow from barrier 4. All riders having a very close look at the track before they settle in. A lot of tension out there, especially for the first ride. Shane the outside. Now Bowes goes in, step for a start in the 1988 South Australian Solo Championship. Craig Hodgson away to a good start. Shane Bowes comes up on the inside of Craig. Together coming out of turn 2. Craig Hodgson gets out in front. Here comes Bowes coming back at him. Hodgson goes a little bit deeper into the corner to hold on to the lead. Craig Hodgson out in front of Shane Bowes. Back there is Darryl Brantford, followed by Kieran Boyle, and Bowes really putting the pressure on Hodgson. Bowes, some beautiful tight manoeuvring through the turns, staying with Hodgson all the way. Hodgson out in front. Bowes in second place. Darryl Brantford back in third, followed by Kieran Boyle halfway through the race. Here we go. Hodgson just holding on to that lead, tightening up the style through the turns a little bit to make sure that he's not going to leave a gap for Shane Bowes to fit through. Craig Hodgson coming around to the yellow flag. 1 lap to go. Bowes in second, Brantford in third, Boyle in fourth. Down the back straight for the final time, heading into Old Pit Corner with Craig Hodgson, the leader from start to finish. Quick look over the shoulder. Hodgson, followed by Bowes. Back then to Brantford and Boyle. Craig Hodgson takes the major points in the first heat. Second place, a good ride to Shane Bowes. Third across the line going to Darryl Brantford. Scadden and Jill Volbrecht. Jack Scadden has been part of the motorcycle scene for longer than most people. Jack is actually over 70. He's one of our flag marshals out in the centre tonight. Our thanks also to Jill in joining with Jack to sponsor this race. And there'd be a lot of people that would like to be as active as Jack is at the same age. Nigel Greenhalgh will start blue from 2. Damon Richardson in white from 3. And Bill Lellman, yellow from 4. Billy Lellman settles in on the outside. Greenhalgh into 2, just waiting on Ray Robertson. Was first around to the line. Now moves in. Set to go in heat 2. Damon Richardson got away to a good start, trying hard to get around the outside of Nigel Greenhalgh. Greenhalgh holding on. Oh, Lellman flying up on the inside, puts the pressure now on both those riders. It's Greenhalgh in the lead. Come through on the inside to take second place away from Damon Richardson. Down the back straight, Nigel Greenhalgh in the lead from Billy Lellman. Lellman goes deep once again. He's looking for a run on Greenhalgh. Greenhalgh keeps it down tight on the turn. Nothing in the first 3 placings at all. Ray Robertson being left out a little bit back in 4th place. Nigel Greenhalgh in the lead. Lellman in 2nd place, trying hard to find a way past Greenhalgh. Back then to Damon Richardson. Greenhalgh on the last lap, going out just a little bit wide. Lellman couldn't come through, but moves right up onto the back wheel. Down the back straight for the final time. Lellman throws the challenge out once again, looking for an inside run. Greenhalgh holds his line through the turn though. Up to the line they come. Nigel Greenhalgh from Lellman. Back then to Richardson. And Ray Robertson. Top ride, Nigel Greenhalgh. Lellman threw everything but the kitchen sink at him then. And Nigel Greenhalgh wasn't phased one little bit. Held his line all the way and took it to the checkered flag. Nigel Greenhalgh first, 2nd place goes to Bill Lellman, and 3rd across the line, Damon Richardson, mother of Scott Norman and wife of Ken, who rode at Rowley Park for many years. Thank you for your support of this event. Blue from 2, Shane Parker white from 3, Mark Fiore yellow from 4. Parker. Brilliant green bike. Ashley Norton and Felix Fiora up on the outside. Parker being brought forward. They're settled in. They're ready to go. They're next three. Parker gets away well. All get away well. Round the outside is Fiora. He's looking for a run. All together down the back straight with Scott Norman in the lead from Shane Parker. Norman out in front. Can he hold the lead for 4 laps? Shane Parker right behind him. Then we've got Fiora. Behind Fiora is Ashley Norton. Parker looking for the run, but Norman keeping it down tight. Fiora looking for an outside run if he can get Parker boxed in, but they settle back into single file as they come into turn 4. Norman out in front, then Fiora. Parker doing everything, cannot find an inside line, doesn't want to take the outside. Fiora up on the inside of Parker. Now Parker's going to try for an outside run on Norman and also on Fiora. Down the straight they come with 1 to go. And I don't think it's going to work. Fiora's got around the outside. He's looking for the run on Norman, drifts out wide. Parker keeping it down low, but he's back in 3rd place with Scott Norman doing all the right things in this heat as he comes around. Fiora on the outside together to the line. Mark Fiora has done it. Mark Fiora from Scott Norman. What a ride. What a ride by Mark Fiora. Incredible. Fiora first, Scott Norman. There wasn't another thing he could have done in that race. He did everything. 3rd place went to Shane Parker. He's gone back into the pits. Gee, he was pulling all the stops out as well. Well, you wouldn't have picked a winner with a quarter of a lap to go. It was still anybody's, but a top ride, Mark Fiora. 2nd place goes to Scott Norman, and 3rd across the line, Shane Parker. Ray's been around the Speedway traps or the motorcycle traps for a long time. Currently the ACU rep for the Speedway Riders Association and father of rider Dave Marcus. 1, Neil Perry in blue from 2, Paul Cooper in white from 3, and Ross Noble, yellow from barrier 4. For 3, Ross Noble on the outside in barrier 4. They're all set to go. Perry, Cooper both get away well. Perry comes out the victor. Ross Noble up around the outside of Cooper. They're having a battle back there. Cooper starts to break clear. Noble comes back at him. It's Neil Perry out in front. He's doing it quite easily at this stage of the race. The battle going on for minor places with Cooper holding on to 2nd from Ross Noble back then to Lee Schooling. Down the back straight, Neil Perry opening up a big lead in the race. Cooper breaking away just a little bit now from Ross Noble. Back then to Schooling. 2 laps down, 2 to go. Neil Perry having a dream run out there at the moment. Cooper well clear now in 2nd place. So Ross Noble going a bit deeper into turn 3, closing the gap just a little bit, but only 1 lap to go. Neil Perry down the back straight he goes for the final time. Well on the way to the checkered flag. We've got a spill. Neil Perry coming around. The race will be declared, I think, and Neil Perry will take that. Paul Cooper, I think, will get 2nd. We'll have to wait and see what happens as far as 3rd place goes. Paul Cooper 2nd and Lee Schooling 3rd. State title, a very exciting round it was. Certainly in for some action as the night goes on. Got the sidecars coming out next. I believe there will be a practice for 2 of the outfits, and then we go on to the first of the sidecar events. Work going in behind the scenes to come up with this money. It does cost a lot of money to put on a meeting, and tonight's meeting. Rick Munro out in the yellow and white leathers, and Brenton Roy, I believe, is the other bike, a new rider to me. Ricky Munro on the Vincent. Neil Munro's machine that's seen a lot of racing in the Rowley Park days, and the bike's still going through another generation with Ricky Munro. putting it through its paces. A sound all of their own, the old Vincent. Certainly plenty of power still left in the bike. Starters will be Peter Fleet and Greg Black starting red from 1. George Atherton and Mark Kendall blue from 2. Bryce Thacker and Matt Buderick in white from 3. Ricky Munro and Shane Edwards yellow from 4. Atherton 2, Thacker on 3, Munro 4. Set to go. Fleet gets away well. Thacker tucks in behind him, then Atherton. Munro a little bit slow getting the Vincent wound up, coming off of the line. Fleet out in front. Thacker in second place. Atherton on the third. Track starting to dry out just a little bit. And Munro's in all sorts of troubles. Points down at the bike, the hands go up, and I think they'll pull to the infield. In the meantime, Peter Fleet and Greg Black circulating very quickly around the track. Bryce Thacker holding on to second place. Atherton right behind him looking for a run. Fleet running away with the event now. Coming around to the yellow flag. 1 lap to go. Fleet followed by Thacker. Back into Atherton. Greg Black really hangs out over the back wheel on Fleet's bike, getting all the drive. Fleet first. Second place goes to Thacker. Third across the line is Atherton. Heat number 5 rather, in tonight's championship. This one sponsored by Fraser's Imports. Fraser's, of course, have supported Speedway for many years, and Brian Fraser has accepted the job of promoter along with John Fleming down here at the North Arm. Starters for this heat. Ross Noble will start red from 1. Darryl Branford in blue from 2. Ray Robertson in white from 3. Shane Parker, yellow from barrier 4. Parker up to the line very quickly, ready to get underway. Ross Noble going into 1. Branford being called forward by the starter. Robertson goes in. Branford up to the tapes, ready to get underway in the second round of racing in the South Australian Solo Championship. Parker away to a great start. He's got to get across the field though. He gets past Robertson. He's got Branford as the rider that's out in front. Parker looking for the inside run, closes the gap on Branford. Branford keeps it down tight. Darryl Branford leads them around to complete the first lap. Shane Parker. Back then to Ray Robertson. He's followed by Ross Noble. Darryl Branford going well out in front. Parker had lost a bit of ground, makes it up again. Branford holding on to that lead. Parker really tailgating him through the turns. Down the back straight once again. Parker appears to have caught him, whether he's just looking for a chance to try and make a run. Branford racing well though. Parker drifts out wide. Branford also went wide. Parker up on the inside, gets the inside run. Branford stays with him on the outside, but Parker's got the jump. Branford tucks down low, coming back on the inside. Up to the line, Branford. Darryl Branford, a beautiful ride. Shane Parker second. Third place goes to Ray Robertson, followed by Ross Noble. Well, Shane Parker just waited for the chance, took it when it was there, and gee, I really thought that was it for Branford, but gee, what a brain he's got. Very quick thinking, caught on the outside, dropped straight back to the inside on the turn, and held it to the flag. Great ride, Darryl Branford. Second place goes to Shane Parker. Third across the line, Ray Robertson. And the time, 1:03.91. Cooper's racing team consisting of Paul Cooper, Ivan Clothier, Andrew Brace and Gary Davies. They're the 4 guys that make up the team. We thank you for your financial support for this very important meeting tonight. We've got Neil Perry starting red from 1, Scotty Norman blue from 2, Shane Bowes in white from 3, and Damon Richardson yellow from barrier 4. Damon Richardson goes back out, Norman goes back out, Bowes goes in, they're sorting themselves out. Norman's still not happy with his piece of track. Sells it in this time, ready for a start. We'll stand by Norman, all go into the corner together. Norman comes out in front, followed by Bowes. Down the inside comes Perry. Bowes holds him off on the outside, and it's Norman, followed by Bowes. Back into Perry and then Richardson. Completing the first lap. Shane Bowes, back into Perry. Damon Richardson looking for an outside run on Perry. Loses a bit of ground going into turn 1. In the meantime, Norman out in front. Bowes still holding on to second place. Perry off the pace just a little bit back in third place, and he's under pressure from Richardson in fourth. Norman keeping the inside line closed right up. 1 lap to go. Bowes sticking with him. It would look as though Norman's got this one pretty well sewn up, but as we've seen in the previous heats, anything can happen in the last half. Up to the line, Scott Norman, Shane Bowes, Neil Perry. Just waiting on Damon Richardson to come around, finish off the event. Coasting over the line in fourth place. So placings go to Scott Norman first, second place was Shane Bowes, and third across the line Neil Perry. The time 1:03.23. People to see for your next motorcycle. Call in and see ex-sidecar man Dave Adams for spares, repairs and accessories, and they're down at Old Port Road, Woodville. Lee Schooling, blue from 2. Nigel Greenhalgh in white from 3, and Craig Hodgson, yellow from 4. Gate's still open though, so still waiting on something from inside the pits. Schooling failing to get started. We'll bring in the first reserve, Dave Marcus. So it'll be Norton from 1, Marcus on 2, Greenhalgh 3, and Hodgson 4. All set to go. Right. Ashley Norton away well from the pole position. Hodgson rounds him up on the outside, goes straight into the lead. Hodgson out in front, Norton in second place, back then to Nigel Greenhalgh, and in fourth place is Dave Marcus. Craig Hodgson. Appeared in his first heat to be just doing enough to win the race. Not doing anything more than that. All he needs to do, of course. Craig Hodgson out in front. Norton in second place. Greenhalgh off the pace a little bit back there in third. Hodgson just slowly increasing that lead over Ashley Norton. Very smooth ride. 1 lap to go. Hodgson still out in front. Norton in second. Greenhalgh in third. Dave Marcus coming around in fourth place as Hodgson comes to the checkered flag. Hodgson first, Norton second, third across the line Greenhalgh. Hodgson, beautiful style of riding. It just doesn't appear to be any effort at all to him out there. Very smooth. Dave Marcus coming across the line in fourth place to finish the event. Hodgson first, Norton second, Greenhalgh third. Coming up next, this one's sponsored by Dallo's Delicatessen. Call into Dallo's for all your requirements. They're situated on Tapley's Hill Road at Fulham. Support the people who support Motorcycle Speedway in South Australia. Bill Lellman, blue from 2. Mark Fiora, white from 3, and Paul Cooper, yellow from barrier 4. Rider to come out onto the track. 2 minutes they have to start time after the siren sounds. Other riders pretty well settled. Cooper, for a beautiful first heat from Fiora. Lellman doing everything, trying to keep the throttle going and also get the front wheel down at the same time. He couldn't do so. moves up on the inside, gets past Boyle, moves into second as he goes out after Mark Fiora. Fiora out in front, Lillman in second place, back there in third, Kieran Boyle. Paul Cooper has pulled to the infield, so we're down to 3 bikes. Mark Fiora out in front. Lillman down low over the handlebars as they go down the back straight. Straightens up on the corners, holding on to second place, back in third. Fiora from Lillman, pulling away from Lillman a little bit, and they're both moving away from Boyle. Fiora taking a quick look over the left shoulder. Realise he's got a little bit of breathing space out there. Once again, maximum points for Fiora, second place to Lillman, third across the line to Kieran Boyle. Mark Fiora first, second place going to Bill Lillman, and third across the line Kieran Boyle. To the sidecar section, this one sponsored by Angie Fleming and Lorraine Fleet. From 1, Peter Fleet, Greg Black. Blue from 2, George Atherton and Mark Kendall. White from 3, Bryce Thacker, Matt Buderick. Yellow from 4. Hockley 1, Fleet 2, Atherton 3, Thacker 4. Yeah, they're looking away well. Thacker moves across, looks for an inside run, tries to get it on Fleet. Fleet down the back straight. Gee, quite a move there by Bryce Thacker. Very impressive rider. Fleet out in front, Thacker in second place. Battle going on for third and fourth. Atherton back then to Hockley in 4. Peter Fleet, Greg Black. Greg Black, very distinctive style down the straights. Really hangs off the back of the bike, getting extra drive into that back wheel. Looks like Hockley's got some mechanical problems. Fleet out in front. Thacker staying about the same distance behind him as he was earlier. Not making up any ground, doesn't appear to be losing any. Back then to Atherton in third. Thacker cornering a little bit tighter than Fleet. Fleet with a power down the straights manages to stay clear. Coming around to the finish line, Peter Fleet first, Thacker second, followed by Atham's Father Claus. We'll get it right in a minute. Santa Claus, Father Christmas, coming around the track, giving everyone a wave. Now what's going to happen is, after Santa has been around the track, he'll be down at the souvenir booth. And if all the girls and boys out there, if you can get Mum and Dad to take you down to the souvenir booth, there's all sorts of goodies for you down there. There's bags of lollies, all sorts of things happening down there. So after you've seen Santa Claus come around the track, if you make your way down to the souvenir booth, line up down there. All the boys and girls there are bags of lollies to be given away, all sorts of things down there. We'll be inside very shortly. Tree. Oh, you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not frown, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Riding on the reins, bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. But here comes Santa Claus, riding down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for boys. Well, there he goes. I think this time around he'll probably go straight to the souvenir stand, I think. This will be getting back to the action down here at the North Arm for the next round of racing in this, the 88-89 South Australian Solo Championship. First step on the way to the World Final. The titles, this one's sponsored by Amatec. Darryl Branford in white from 3, Ashley Norton in yellow from 4. Richardson and Cooper both up to the line, ready to get underway with this next round of racing. ready to get underway in heat 9. Brantford powers away well. Round the outside goes Ashley Norton. Brantford follows him out of turn 2. Drifts out a little bit wide, allows Damon Richardson to close the gap. But Ashley Norton leading the field as they come into turn 4 and down the main straight for the first time. Followed by Brantford. Back into Richardson. Not much in it between the first 3 bikes. Paul Cooper being left behind a little bit in 4th place. Norton out in front. Brantford dropping back just a little bit from the leader, and further back behind him is Richardson. They were fairly close on the first 2 laps, but it's dropped away a little bit now. Austin Norton. Got a few bike lengths separating him from Darryl Brantford as they go down the back straight. Richardson well back out of it now in 3rd. Checkered flag. Ashley Norton kicks the right leg out as he come out of turn 4 and across the line in 1st place. 2nd went to Brantford, and 3rd place going to Damon Richardson. Electrical. For all automotive electrical problems, see Aidan Higgin out at Mullers Road at Hampstead Gardens. Hampstead Auto, of course, sponsor Mark Fiora, Damon Richardson, and also our resident English rider, David Walsh. We've got Mark Fiora starting red from 1. Mark Fiora starting red from 1. Ray Robertson in blue from 2. Lee Schooling, white from 3. And Shane Bowes, yellow from 4. Fiora from the pole is going to be very hard to beat. Bowes, the job in front of him from the outside. And Felix Fiora gets away out in front. Bowes has come across the other road. Oh, Bowes up on the inside. He's really thrown the challenge out now on Fiora. Bowes on the inside. I think he caught Fiora unawares then. Fiora seemed to be taking it just a little bit easy. And Shane Bowes out for everything straight away. Moved up on the inside. Fiora really opens it up now. Realises that he's got a race for the points. You can't just take them. Fiora out in front. Bowes in 2nd place. Back behind him, Ray Robinson, followed by Lee Schooling. Fiora pulled away a little bit from Bowes now. Bowes almost got through, and it would have made Fiora's job pretty hard to get past him. Fiora with a lap to go. Probably didn't think that Shane Bowes could get across there as quick as that. Fiora well clear now. Oh, Bowes has got troubles. He's coming to a stop. Bowes rolling around but only just moving. Fiora across the line, takes the checkered flag. The battle for 2nd and 3rd going on still as they come to the line. Ray Robertson from Lee Schooling. And what an unlucky break for Shane Bowes. Racing very well, certainly had 2nd well and truly sewn up. Half a lap to go and the bike lets him down. Bit of bad luck. Mark Fiora 1st. 2nd place going to Ray Robertson, and 3rd across the line is Lee Schooling. K Enterprise, if you see Dean Jesser, the motorcycle repair specialist for rebores, welding, engine overhauls, the whole lot. L&K Enterprises, blue from 2, Craig Hodgson in white from 3, and Neil Perry yellow from 4, and this should be a ripper of a race. Lillman, Parker, Hodgson and Perry. Wheel stand there by Parker. Craig Hodgson moves into the lead right at the start. Parker doing battle with Lillman. Lillman on the inside, Parker on the outside. Lillman down low. Parker forced to keep on the outside, high on the track as Craig Hodgson out in front. Parker still racing on the outside. Lillman going with him all the way on the inside. Drops off a bit on turn number 1 and Parker breaks clear up into 2nd place. Hodgson out in front once again, followed by Parker, then Lillman. Single file as they go down the main straight with Hodgson, Parker, Lillman, back then to Neil Perry in 4th place. Parker screws the throttle open a little bit wider, closes the gap, moves up close behind Hodgson. Hodgson too smooth through the turns though. Hodgson, Parker with a lap to go. Parker going for everything, looking for the outside. Cuts down low. Hodgson holding him off. Parker still going with him all the way. Hodgson still down low. Parker looking for the run on the outside as they come out of the turn. Hodgson the line. Parker right behind him. Followed by Lillman, then Perry. Parker was giving it everything. I think Hodgson was waiting for someone to challenge on the inside, but Shane Parker was barrelling down the outside and only lost it by half a wheel length. Great stuff once again. Hodgson first, Parker second, third across the line goes to Lillman. Margaret and Lynette, wife and daughter of Brian Fraser, one of our promoters for this season. We thank you girls for your financial support. Scott Norman in white from 3 and Nigel Greenhalgh, yellow from barrier 4. Noble moving into the pole position. Riders settled in fairly quickly. Ready to go. Heat roll. Riders go. From the outside, Nigel Greenhalgh got away to a good start. We've got a spill. Looks like Scott Norman got into all sorts of trouble then on turn 2. He's up and okay. Part of the bike went floating down the track for quite a distance after that. Kieran Boyle got tangled up in things. He went down also. All in, set to go. They all get away well. Down low was Boyle. Norman doing battle out there with Greenhalgh, both together as they go down the back straight. Boyle out in front. Greenhalgh's trying to find a gap around the outside of Norman, and the inside run on Boyle. Through he comes, and he's done it. Nigel Greenhalgh opened everything up, found that gap run around the outside of Scott Norman, which was no mean feat, and then took the inside run on Kieran Boyle, and Nigel Greenhalgh leads them around to turn 4 and going down the main straight. Greenhalgh out in front, followed by Boyle, back into Norman, and Ross Noble in 4th place. Nigel Greenhalgh about 4 bike lengths clear now of Kieran Boyle with 1 lap to go. No change at all in positions. Boyle caught up a little bit down going through those turns, then dropped it all off, coming out, went a little bit wide, and Nigel Greenhalgh takes a checkered flag from Kieran Boyle, then Scott Norman. 4th place goes to Ross Noble. Good win then to Nigel Greenhalgh. Had to work hard for it. Brilliant piece of riding to get to the front. Greenhalgh first. 2nd place went to Boyle. And 3rd across the line, Scott Norman. Walden Miller Leathers. Walden Miller, of course, a very well-known name in South Australia. Be more people wearing Walden Miller Leathers than any other clothing manufacturer anywhere. Moving up into 1. Hockley on 2. Fleet 3. Atherton 4. Fleet gets away well. Fleet out in front, then Atherton back to Munro. Fleet holds it through. Atherton goes sideways. All the bikes all get around. I don't know how that happened. Almost a miracle there as Atherton locked up sideways. The bike come to a dead stop. There's still 2 bikes coming through behind him. We were ready for a start. Peter Fleet has his clutches let go after that hold up, and Peter Fleet is not a happy man at the moment. Munro and Hockley circulate now as Fleet's got all sorts of problems on the line there. Hockley on 2, Fleet on 3, they'll take those, and they're off. Fleet away well, so too is Munro. Munro down low, winds it up fairly early. Fleet with a power, trying to get around the outside of him, does so, goes into the lead. Munro right behind him, back then to Hockley. Fleet from Munro. Munro cornering a fair bit tighter than Fleet. Ricky Munro, Shane Edwards in second place. Peter Fleet, Greg Black out in front. Moving away a little bit from Munro now, though. Munro manages to close the gap on the turns once again. Munro is out, the hand goes up. He's out of this one. Hockley goes through on the outside. We're down to 2 bikes. Fleet out in front. Hockley in second place as Munro pulls to the infield. 1 lap to go. Fleet followed by Hockley. Fleet keeping it much tighter through the turn that time. Comes out wide, across the line, takes the flag. Hockley in second place, only the 2 finishers. Peter Fleet, Greg Black first. Second place going. Program with event 16. This one's sponsored by Mr. Mick Hargreaves. Actually, if you've got the program there's a K on the end of Mick, and it's Hargreaves, not Hargraves, but we all know him as the guy that does the videos. Mick Hargreaves supplying the videos that are on sale at the souvenir stand. I mentioned before, he's also added the bonus of a free copy of tonight's meeting to the winner. And of course, you can purchase your copy of tonight's meeting along with any other meeting you'd care to name. Any 2 meetings put on the one tape, total cost $25, great value. 1, Mark Fiora blue from 2, Neil Perry in white from 3, and Darryl Branford yellow from 4. On this, the South Australian Solo Championship at the North Arm. Nigel Greenhalgh, Mark Fiora, Neil Perry, Darryl Branford the starters. Waiting on Fiora, not quite settled. Branford moves up on the outside, Fiora goes back in. Branford goes out, being called forward. Set to go. Fiora away with a good start. Greenhalgh goes out in second, trying to hold on to second. The challenge comes on the outside from Neil Perry, and Perry has actually gone into second place now. Branford back in fourth. Out in front, Mark Fiora. Neil Perry going well in second place. Greenhalgh back in third. Branford in fourth, looking for the run up to try and get into third. But Greenhalgh pulls away a little bit down that straight, and they open up a bit more of a lead. Mark Fiora, he's powering it on out in front. He's got no pressure on him at all. The battle's going on for the minor placings. Fiora absolutely flying out in front. Coming around to the yellow flag, 1 lap to go. Mark Fiora, followed by Neil Perry. Perry holding on to second, back then to Nigel Greenhalgh, then Darryl Branford. This would be one of the biggest leads we've seen in the heats. Mark Fiora across the line. Second place, no! I think Perry has held on the outside once again. Nigel Greenhalgh putting everything into that last half a lap. I think Perry has held on the outside. A good finish by Greenhalgh on the inside. Nigel Greenhalgh up on the inside has got second place. So it was a good finish by Greenhalgh. First place going to Mark Fiora. Second place going to Nigel Greenhalgh. And third across the line is Neil Perry. Cooper's Car Service. If you see Brian Cooper and his team of expert mechanics, including Paul Cooper and Andrew Brace, for repairs to your car, they're located at Port Road, Woodville South. Cooper's Car Service doing quite a bit for motorsport in South Australia. Make sure you drop along to Cooper's to get it done. Shane Bowes starting red from 1. Ross Noble blue from 2. Bill Lellman white from 3. Ashley Norton yellow from 4. Norton First to the line on the outside. Lillman goes in. Noble settled on 2. Bowes on 1, ready for a start. Oh, big wheel stand by Bowes, cost him some ground. Ashley Norton from barrier 4 goes straight into the lead as he got around the outside of Lillman. Bowes making up for some of that lost ground now, moves up into 3rd place. Noble back in 4th. Ashley Norton, the rider they have to catch though. Norton looking fairly comfortable out in front. Lillman back in 2nd place. Lillman followed by Bowes. Still Ashley Norton. Got away to a good start on the line. Right around the field to go into the lead by the time he came out of turn 2. Yellow flag, 1 lap to go. Ashley Norton, followed by Will. Back into Bowes. Will back in the field to Ross Noble in 4th place. Streamers hanging off Lillman's helmet as he goes down the back straight. Almost looks like he's been decorated out there, but it's going to be Ashley Norton to the line. Norton, followed by Lillman, back then to Bowes. Norton, Lillman, Bowes as they cross the line, and Ross Noble coming through to finish off the event. Ashley Norton first, 2nd place goes to Bill Lillman, and 3rd across the line, Shane Bowes. Clive Mundy, Dennis Todd and Errol Parler. Those 4 guys are actually 4 of our spectators, have all put together to sponsor this event, so well done fellas, you deserve a pat on the back. 4 of the spectators out there sponsoring this heat in tonight's championship. So John Johnston, Clive Mundy, Dennis Todd and Errol Parler. Scott Norman in white from 3 and Ray Robertson yellow from 4. Robertson settled in, Cooper settled in. Now we've got Hodgson and Norman both going together. Set for a start. Well, Norman seemed to judge the tape a fraction better, but Hodgson with too much power bounced straight into the lead, takes them down the back straight. Hodgson out in front, Norman in 2nd place, back then to Paul Cooper in 3rd. He's followed by Ray Robertson. Any pressure that's going to be applied to Hodgson's going to come from Norman. But Norman's got a lot of work to do to make up the ground that Craig Hodgson's got. Craig Hodgson out in front. Norman in 2nd place, followed by Cooper. Right behind him is Ray Robertson. Hodgson's front wheel coming up under power as he goes down the straights. Be looking for a fast time in this one, I think. Certainly giving it everything. He's well clear of the other bikes and pouring it on. Into turn 4 for the final time as he heads for the checkered flag. 4 in a row. Hodgson across the line first. 2nd place will go to Norman. 3rd is Paul Cooper, followed then by Ray Robertson. Craig Hodgson first. Quite a comfortable win. It'll be interesting to see the times on this one. Hodgson first, Norman 2nd and Cooper 3rd. Racing, and this one sponsored by Otis Elevators. We thank you, Otis Elevator, for supporting our sport and for the sponsorship of this event, Heat 16. Getting a run in the South Australian title. Riders that have been scoring pretty well. Certainly not easy to pick up points tonight. Parker 1, Sampson 2, Boyle on 3, Schooling 4. Parker gets away well, Boyle tailgates him through the first turn. Back then, Schooling going around the outside of Sampson to move up into 3rd place. Shane Parker in the lead, Boyle in 2nd place. They come around to complete the 3rd place. spreading out around the track fairly quickly in this race. Lap and a half down, taking up almost half of the track length. Parker, a handy lead now. Boyle, wheel standing as he comes out of turn number 4. It's not helping him though, because Parker's increasing his lead. Boyle pretty well clear in second place with only a lap to go. Lee Schooling in third, trying to close the gap on Boyle. Back into Sampson. Red light goes on. I don't know what happened with the mix-up up the other end with Sampson and Lee Schooling, the other rider, that were tangled up there. 1 round to go. It's going to be a ripper round. If you see Dean Jesser, the motorcycle repair specialist for rebores, welding, engine overhauls and all general repair work. Ricky Munro blue from 2, Errol Hockley white from 3, Peter Fleet yellow from 4. Looks like a change. We've got Atherton out there. See where he lines up. We can pick who's out of this one. Line up, ready to go. Munro gets away fairly well this time. Got away in front of Thacker. Fleet, the rider that they've got to catch, though, so go down the back straight. Fleet got away well once again. Just a little bit too much power coming off of the line. One of the bikes lost something on the track down there. I don't know what that was. It's Fleet out in front, followed by Munro. Back then to Thacker. He's followed by Atherton. Fleet increasing his lead. Munro holding on to second place. Back there in third is Thacker. Thacker cornering on the inside, looking for the run to get past Rick Munro. Munro tightens up the corner as he comes out of turn number 2. Here goes Thacker down the inside, goes a bit deeper than Munro. Almost together, almost touching as they hit that corner. Thacker's still there, trying to get Munro. 1 lap to go, Fleet out in front. Fleet followed by Munro. Munro's right elbow really working hard as he gives the throttle some work. Thacker once again looking for the inside run on Munro, closes it up once again. It's Fleet out in front. Munro holding on for second, Thacker down the inside. Munro holds on for second. A good ride by Thacker third, followed by Atherton. Peter Fleet once again takes the checker. Heat 17 sponsored by the Levels Diesel Service. They do repairs to all makes of trucks. They've got over 23 years experience. If you see Barry Norville, who's the father of the rider Adam Norville, Bremen Drive, Salisbury South, Hellman, Schooling and Norman. Schooling, the first rider through the gate. Outside, Lellman about to move forward into position 2, does so now. Lellman goes in, ready to go, Heat 17, the last ride. Lellman, Norman get away well. Lellman through the inside there, throws the challenge out. Branford's going with him and Branford holds on to that lead. Lellman really tried hard to get past, but Branford pulled all the stops out, holds on to the lead. Branford, followed by Lellman, back then to Norman, then Schooling. Darryl Branford from the pole position. Still no change of positions, about the only difference being that Darryl Branford is actually pulling away from both Lellman and Norman. Yellow flag coming out, 1 to go. Darryl Branford, ex-Whyalla rider. Lellman in second place, right behind him is Norman. major points go to Darryl Branford first. Second place goes to Bill Lillman. Third across the line, Scott Norman. Followed then by Lee Schooling. Darryl Branford first. That's the guy to see if you're looking for a solo bike in top condition. Be only too pleased to sell it. Darryl Branford first, a good ride. Second place going to Bill Lillman, and third across the line, Scott Norman. 1:03.62 the time. Program sponsored by Amatec. We've got Shane Parker starting red from 1, Shane Bowes blue from 2, Nigel Greenhalgh white from 3, and Paul Cooper yellow from barrier 4. Aware of what they need to do to be in the final placings as they come out for their last ride. Greenhalgh moves in. Cooper up on the outside. Ready for a start. Parker got away well at the start. A battle going on with Greenhalgh and Bowes together as they come out of turn 2, and Bowes breaks free down the back straight. Parker out in front. Bowes in second place. Greenhalgh back in third. Shane Parker from Bowes. Back then to Nigel Greenhalgh. Greenhalgh looking for the inside run through the turns. Tucks in behind Shane Bowes once again. Parker doing it fairly comfortably out in front. The battle going on for second and third. Bowes very determined to hold on to second. Greenhalgh threw the challenge out on the last half a lap. Drops off the pace a little bit in this one though. Out of turn 4, the yellow flag. 1 lap to go. Shane Parker followed by Shane Bowes. Back then to Nigel Greenhalgh. Paul Cooper bringing up 4th place. Greenhalgh once again closing the gap on Bowes, running out of race time as Shane Parker takes the maximum point. Red light goes on. Race almost over. Nigel Greenhalgh trying everything then, and the front wheel coming off of the ground under power, and just coming right down on top of Shane Bowes. A big wheel stand there by Nigel Greenhalgh. The bike just came right up and then dropped down on top of Shane Bowes. Last quarter of a lap. Well, naturally the race has been declared. It will go to Parker first, Bowes second, and Cooper third. Realised once that front wheel come up what was about to happen. Shane Bowes, of course, would have been wondering what the heck did happen. Receiving some attention to the leg. Guess the fortunate thing is that he did get through to his last heat. Up and walking away from that one, great stuff. An expert speedway engine tuner. Peter looks after all the riders at our meetings with his spare parts, backup service and advice. And our thanks go to Peter Morris. Craig Hodgson starting red from 1. Mark Fiora blue from 2. Both unbeaten after 4 rides. Ross Noble in white from 3. Damon Richardson could be a scratching by the look of things and being replaced by Dave Marcus. Dave Marcus coming out to replace Damon Richardson. But of course all the action, all eyes are going to be on those front 2 bikes, Craig Hodgson and Mark Fiora. Riders fairly geared up for this one. Hodgson settles in on one, Fiora 2, ready to go. Off the line they come. A wheel stand under power from Hodgson. He gets away, holds onto the lead. Fiora goes out after him. Coming out of turn 2, and Hodgson breaks away a little bit from Fiora. Fiora a little bit deeper into the next corner to try and close the gap. Hodgson out in front, under power, the front wheel coming up. Gets it back down on the ground. Fiora's tailgates him through the turns, back then to Noble and Marcus, but it's all happening out in front. Hodgson, a quick look over the shoulder. He hasn't got much breathing space at this stage of the race, with Fiora breathing right down his neck. Hodgson out in front. Fiora looking for a way past. The bike sideways early into the corner. Hodgson comes out of the corner a little bit better. Fiora with the speed. Down the back straight. Fiora doing everything to catch Hodgson. Hodgson out in front with a lap to go. Under power once again. Tons of power in that machine. He keeps it under control. Fiora look for the inside run. Hodgson holds him off coming out of turn 2. Down the back straight for the final time. Hodgson out in front. Fiora, can he catch him on the last quarter? It's Hodgson. They come to the line. Hodgson across the line, followed by Mark Fiora, and a very happy rider is Craig Hodgson. The race not over as third place comes around in Ross Noble. Fourth place will go to Dave Marcus. Craig Hodgson takes out 2 in a row. Took it out last year, and he's done it this year with a maximum point score, and anyone that can score maximum points against the competition that we had out there tonight deserves everything that they get. Craig Hodgson, I don't know what's happening over there. He's left the bike on the side. Looks like the time for that race, 1:02.73. 1:02.73. Mark Fiora goes over to pick up Craig. Looks like it could be something with a bike. There's the checkered flag. Craig Hodgson sitting on the back. And what a pair. They'll be the two guys to represent South Australia at the Australian titles, and you could not pick two better riders. Craig Hodgson, the 88-89 South Australian solo champion, and along with him would be the runner-up in Mark Fiora. Great stuff from two great riders. And Craig Hodgson is wrapped. Keep our fingers crossed now that these boys can get through the Australian titles and then look forward to seeing their performance in the World Finals. Great stuff. Craig Hodgson, runner-up Mark Fiora. Craig Hodgson getting three of the best from the rest of the riders. Well, it's still going on, although we've got the winner and the runner-up. There's still plenty to happen. Cooling for custom-built kitchens, cupboards and wardrobes down at Lonsdale. Dave, of course, is the father of the young rider that we saw out there earlier tonight, Lee Schooling. Heat 20 will see Ray Robertson starting red from 1, Neil Perry in blue from 2, Ashley Norton in white from 3, Kieran Boyle in yellow from 4. Ray Robertson being pulled up to the line. Set to start the final heat. Robertson away, but Ashley Norton, too strong for the rest of the field, goes into the lead. Coming through them was Neil Perry. Perry caught a little bit at the start, was back at the rear of the field, found a gap, moved straight into second place. Ashley Norton out in front, followed by Perry, back then to Boyle, and behind him is Ray Robertson. Spread out pretty well around the track. Pretty well equal gaps in the field, with Norton out in front, followed by Perry. They're starting to move away from third place now in Boyle, back then to Robertson. 1 lap to go as they come down the main straight. Norton in the lead, followed by Perry. In third, Kieran Boyle. Across the line then is Ray Robertson. Final turn in the checkered flag. Ashley Norton across the line. Neil Perry second. Kieran Boyle in third place, followed by Ray Robertson. Place goes to Neil Perry, third across the line, Kieran Boyle. And the time, 1:03.41. Well, our officials frantically tallying up points now to find out what's happening as far as the minor placings go. And fourth place between Shane Parker and Ashley Norton. Ashley Norton, Shane Parker running off for third and fourth place in the state title. Shane Bowes on 7. Craig Hodgson, of course, a maximum of 15. Kieran Boyle on 6. Ray Robertson with 3. Damon Richardson with 2. Nigel Greenhalf on 9. Bill Lillman also on 9. Shane Parker 11. Scott Norman, another rider with 9. Ashley Norton on 11 with Shane Parker for this runoff. Mark Fiora only dropping that 1 point to Craig Hodgson, finished with 14. Neil Perry on 7. Lee Schooling with 2. Ross Noble with 1. And Paul Cooper with 4. So, some fairly close racing down there with quite a few riders finishing with the 9 points. Selected to start from the inside. Parker from the inside, Norton from the outside. From the inside. Right out on the fence. The line. Norton around the outside of Parker before they hit the first turn. Can he stay there? Parker comes back underneath, moves up on the inside. Parker back in the lead now from Ashley Norton as they run for third and fourth place in the state title. Parker, the front wheel comes up from the air, moves a bit of ground. Can he hold it from the outside? Norton looking for the inside. Parker holding on to the lead as they go down the back straight once again. Shane Parker from Ashley Norton. Through Old Pit Corner they go. Parker still in the lead. Looks much tidier coming out of turn 4 this time. 2 laps down, 2 to go. Parker, Norton. Norton not giving in. Parker once again, the front wheel coming off the ground. It's costing him ground each time he corners and that wheel comes up. Still holding on to the lead though. Parker with 1 to go. Ashley Norton right behind him looking for that inside run. Norton up on the inside trying to catch to Parker. Parker holding him off again. Down the back straight they go for the final time. Through Old Pit Corner into turn 4. Parker holding on. Norton doing everything as they come to the line. It's Parker across the line in front of Norton. Shane Parker from Ashley Norton. Only 2 bikes on the track and a tremendous race. Great stuff from those 2 boys. Shane Parker, Ashley Norton, and great racing. What a way to cap off a meeting as far as the solos are concerned anyway. Brilliant. 1:03.20 for Shane Parker, third in the state title. And tremendous effort there by Ashley Norton, finishing in 4th place. Well, in just a few moments we'll be going down onto the track to present the trophies. You got it now. Breath back, we can proceed with the presentation of trophies. Thank Yokohama Motorcycle Tyres for their sponsorship of tonight's meeting, and to present the trophies we have with us the State Manager of Yokohama, Mr. Barry Sherris. What about putting your hands together for Yokohama Tyres? Barry, we do thank you for the sponsorship. What did you think of the meeting?
Absolutely fantastic. I've never been to a speedway before in my life, but I'll tell you what, this is not going to be my last. I'll be back again. Fantastic.
Okay, that's really great. We've got another speedway fan. We're starting off with 4th place, and the guy that really provided the excitement right to the finish, Ashley Norton, finishing 4th tonight in the state title. Congratulations, Ashley, and you put everything into that last one. You'd still have to be pleased with fourth.
Oh yeah, yes, I'm quite pleased with fourth. But, all these blokes make it harder every year. I'm not getting any younger, so anyway, it's good competition, so I'm happy enough. I'd like to thank Peter Morris for doing my engines. Bikes were perfect, just that I wasn't good enough tonight. Mum and Dad for all their help, and everyone else that supports me. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks Ashley Norton. And any of the big meetings that Ashley's over for, you can guarantee we'll be in the placings there somewhere. They're anywhere from 1 to 4. In third place tonight, really fired up last week, took out the Jack Petman solo invitation with a maximum point score. Tonight the competition was that little bit stiffer. Phil still finished in third place, a tremendous effort from the guy that's come back after injury, Shane Parker. Congratulations, Shane. Some real stiff competition out there tonight. How do you feel?
Very relieved. After my first race, I thought it was all over, but don't know how I've done it, but I've done it. I'd just like to thank my father and Mark for helping me in the pits. I'd like to thank my girlfriend Carly, the boys from work who came down, everybody for coming out, and the St John's and all the other riders.
Okay, thanks very much, Shane Parker.
And Fraser Imports, Ellen Kane Prizes, Moss Bray and Hampstead Electrical.
Don't forget the sponsors. Okay, second place tonight. Tremendous ride. It was only that 1 point, and that was nearly very close too. Mark Fiora. We wish Mark all the best, representing South Australia as the second place getter in the Australian titles. Congratulations, Mark. It was a pretty close thing. You almost took out the big one there for a second or two, but it was just too strong by that one.
Yeah, you know, it was a good night's racing, and that I think on the whole the racing was pretty good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank Aidan for sponsoring me tonight from Hampstead Auto Electrics. I had my gear in a crate from England, and it got held up, and it was getting that way that I wasn't going to be able to ride in the titles. And Aidan stepped forward and said he'd lend me his bike and gear, so it was very much appreciated, you know. So I'd just like to thank him. Also Littlehampton Breck for sponsoring me. They've helped me out a lot in the past. And also my mechanics. Thank you.
Thanks to Mark Fiora, a multiple state champion. And the guy that swept all before him once again tonight, Craig Hodgson. Great effort. The fireworks. And anyone that saw Craig's battle with Phil Crump in the last Australian title, I think Craig's going to really stir Crumpy up next time. And I feel quite sure that we're looking now at the next Australian champion. And of course I mentioned before the Australian that went further than any other rider in the world title. Congratulations.
Thank you. Ooh, unreal. First of all, I'd just like to thank the sponsors of the meeting, Yokohama, and my own sponsors, Trevor and Diane Wade from Newcastle. I'd also like to thank Lloyd Thorley, Ward Miller Leathers, Lumpy's Pizza Pit, Spencer Motor Trimmers, Castrol. They've all been excellent help to me, and oh, this is good. Also, I'd like to thank Dad and my brother and my sister and my girlfriend. And last of all, I'd just like to dedicate this win to my grandmother. Thank you.
Well done, Craig Hodgson, and tremendous effort. 15 points under the circumstances that we had tonight. The top riders that you're going to see anywhere, and still managing to come out with a maximum point score. We're going to get some photos taken now, then a lap of honour. We want to hear heaps of noise as the guys go around, let them know that you're really out there. I mentioned before that we do thank the people that have come down tonight certainly added to the atmosphere. If it's somebody that's come down for the first time, we certainly hope to see you back again next Friday night for all the action. And once again, we do thank Mr. Barry Sherris and Yokohama Tyres for their sponsorship of tonight's meeting. It will all be happening again down here at North Arm. Make sure you come along to that. Bring a few friends down with you. We're getting into the good weather and it's a great way to spend a Friday night. Feature sponsored by Performance Equipment. Peter Fleet, Greg Black. Back markers in red from 100. Bryce Thacker and Matt Buderick in white from 60. George Atherton is a scratching. Ricky Munro, Shane Edwards in yellow from 80. Hockley is also a scratching. Dave Cotter will come out in green from 40. And Brenton Roy and Roger Evans. A couple of newcomers, especially, well, to the North Arm at least. I don't know what other racing they've done. Back then to Cotter. Bryce Thacker, third bike on the line. Ricky Munro just pulling in. Peter Fleet, the back marker. They're set to go. Off the line. Brenton Roy loses it at the start. And a bad spill is... Dave Cotter, the bike that went and was clipped by the bike coming through. I've got one of the guys up and okay. Gee, a nasty spill. Okay, a slightly reduced field. Brenton Roy will get another crack at it. So it'll be Fleet, Thacker, Munro and Roy. Munro gets set. Fleet is ready. We're ready for the restart. Light goes off the line. Brenton Roy away much better that time. Back then to Thacker, followed by Munro, then Fleet. Roy going fairly well out in front. Roy holding on to the lead. Back then to Thacker. Right behind Thacker is Munro. Behind him is Fleet. No change of positions. Thacker may have closed the gap just a little bit then on Brenton Roy. It's a 6-lap race though. Fleet looking for an inside run on Rick Munro. The back marker throws the challenge out, trying to come up on the inside. Munro stays with him all the way down the back straight they go. Munro pulls away, holds on to third place. Fleet backs off to stay on the track. Out in front, it's still Brenton Roy going well. Brenton Roy out in front. Bryce Thacker not getting very much closer. He's closed the gap a little bit, but not enough to throw a challenge out on Brenton Roy. Roy out in front, Thacker in second place, back then to Rick Munro, and Fleet in fourth place. 4 down, 2 to go. Brenton Roy holding on to that lead. Thacker closing the gap now as Fleet comes to a stop. Thacker looking for the run. Brenton Roy coming through, holding on to that lead, but Thacker's really putting the pressure on now. Brenton Roy in the lead. Bryce Thacker with a lap to go. Thacker looking for an inside run. Brenton Roy, Bryce Thacker. Thacker through on the inside. Roy tries to go with him. Thacker goes sideways. Oh, just gets missed there by Ricky Munro. We're down to 2 bikes. it nearly happened all over again, and Brenton Roy, the front marker, is going to take this one out, up to the checkered flag. Brenton Roy first, and Ricky Munro second. Brenton Roy first, second place going to Rick Munro. Bryce Thacker throwing out the challenge there for a second, almost losing it. Munro got through safely. 1:48.38 the time. Well, we do hope you've enjoyed tonight's meeting. As I mentioned, it's on again next Friday night. We would like to see you down here. Do have a happy and a safe Christmas. Brendan Roy takes the checkered flag around. Well-deserved win. Great to see. And our thanks, before we go, to all those people that did sponsor the individual races tonight, and also to Yokohama Tyres for their sponsorship.